Hello and welcome to Instablog's Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: winning hearts and minds becomes a new strategy for top Western diplomats in Afghanistan. Aid convoys led by George Galloway facing difficulty entering Gaza Strip. Journalists in northwest frontier province of Pakistan threatened from rising extremism in the region. And Copenhagen summit becomes history without any consequential climate change deal. Under a new strategy to win over the hearts and minds of local Afghans, the French Foreign Legion in Afghanistan has launched one of their biggest operations of the 8-year war by opening the road to a key village in northern Uzbeen and holding a meeting with the local leaders. CJ Pramuddin Behram updates us on the operation.
This is Akramdin Bahram from Kabul on Instablogs.com. The incident of Uzbeen Valley, located just 40 miles away from the capital, is a clear example of how hard it is to enter the insurgents' space of power for talks with the locals. As reported, the French Foreign Legion launched one of their biggest operations of the 8-year war to open the road to a key village in northern Uzbeen and hold a meeting with local elders. Within hours, however, the mission ran into trouble. Officers found out that 50 insurgents had gathered at Qaleh Eh Ye Kalan, the village where they had planned to arrive in triumph to consult the elders. But the people in that village were not told in time, and then the commanding officers took a wrong turn and the meeting was delayed even longer. The operation, which mobilized 1,000 crack troops from U.S. Special Forces, the French Foreign Legion and Afghan police, ended without achieving its objective.
1 year after the end of the Israeli war in Gaza, aid convoys are still facing difficulty in getting to the Strip after Egypt refused to allow them entry into the Hamas-ruled territory via the Red Sea. CJ Abu Zurek has more on the story from neighboring Jordan.
This is Wests Afghan reporting for the Instablogs from Jordan. Exactly 1 year after the Israeli war in Gaza, aid convoys still find it hard to get through into the Strip. The most recent convoy is one led by the British George Galloway. Entrance to the Red Sea port was mediated by Turkey but stopped by Egypt, hence the convoy's current stay in Aqabah's port in Jordan. The convoy is reported to include around 250 trucks of food and medical supplies from European and Arab countries. Egyptian officials are asking for coordination to be made with the Israelis, while the spokesman of the convoy is saying that Egypt is only creating hurdles. This, together with the steel wall Egypt is building on their borders with Gaza, is only benefiting Israel in their war against the people of Gaza.
As war rages in the northwest frontier province of Pakistan, journalists face life-threatening consequences as they uncover stories related to terror masterminds and corrupt political forces. CJ Karim Khan says that the fear amongst the media and general public shows lack of security within the country.
This is CJ Karim Khan on Instablogs from Peshawar in Pakistan. Journalists in the war-torn areas of NWFP and the tribal belt have been under attack for over 2 years. The threatened journalists include mostly those covering closely the wicked designs of terror masterminds, as well as those daring to uncover corrupt political forces. A recent example is the arrest and torture of a TV journalist in Balochistan. The suicide attack on Peshawar Press Club is no exception. While it has again created fear among the media and general public, the blast shows the failure of security measures in the city, as well as the fear felt among terrorist elements themselves, the fear of being exposed before the world. Shall our media assume a hush over the terror inflicted by these criminals? Certainly not. It is entirely the responsibility of security forces to protect each and every threatened part of the country. However, every citizen is bound to help and cooperate with the security forces and save whatever is left of the nation from complete destruction.
As the Copenhagen summit ended last week without any consequential climate change deal to confront the global warming challenges, Atijo Uzbeen says that Kenya should learn to create its own solutions instead of depending on other nations.
This is Uzbeen, a citizen journalist from Kenya, reporting on Instablogs. All said and done, we have to accept the reality that COP15 is now history, with or without the much hyped up climate deal. First, I think every Kenyan is now conversant with what climate change is all about, unless someone is very ignorant. With all the publicity the climate summit achieved in the media, we can at least say that Kenya is now posted on global warming. Even though Africa was looking for an elusive real deal, we have learned that commitment to alleviate global warming is essentially based on vested economic interests of various countries who do not wish to sacrifice their growth at the altar of climate change. It's for sure that Africa was not able to deliver home a deal, but this is not reason enough for us to sit back and mourn. Kenya needs to turn global challenges into opportunities. For instance, the country should come up with a plan on how to respond to climate change impacts, considering the varying patterns of rain that the country has witnessed. With this, we can be sure of curbing food insecurity. Kenya and Africa at large have no other choice but to act for their own good and survival. Maybe Kenya needs to borrow a leaf from India on the green revolution of India of the 1970s, where modern agriculture methods and credits made the country self-sufficient in food production.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates in more Citizen Voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.